All right, listen up, man. You ever sit back and wonder what the hell's really going on with faith right now? Like, we're living in this time where everything's connected. Your phone's basically another organ, AI's learning faster than any human ever could, and yet people are more lost than ever. Everyone's chasing meaning, but nobody's stopping to ask why they even feel empty in the first place. And here's the crazy part. What if the answer isn't in some new philosophy or tech innovation, but in something ancient, something we've been ignoring while we scroll ourselves into insanity? I've been thinking about how humanity's idea of faith has evolved, not religion, not dogma, that deep-rooted connection to something real, something that grounds us when everything else feels like noise. Because if you look around, man, the soul's been hacked by dopamine and algorithms, and everyone's pretending they're fine, but deep down they're not. So tonight, we're going to dig into that. We're going to talk about how belief, real unshakable belief, might actually be the last anchor in this storm of confusion. And trust me, once you see how all of this ties together, from tech to ancient wisdom to what's happening right now in the world, it's going to flip the way you think about the future of faith itself. Buckle up, man. This one's going to go deep. You ever just sit back, man, and think about how wild it is that faith even survived the modern world? Like, we've got AI writing poetry, meditating on apps, influencers turning self-help into religion, and yet somehow people are still out here searching for something higher. It's crazy because for thousands of years was the engine of civilization. It built temples, laws, moral systems, families, everything. And now it's like faith's gone through this weird mutation. It's not about just going to church or mosque anymore. It's about finding meaning in chaos, grounding yourself when everything's moving at the speed of light. You scroll online, everyone's preaching some version of belief, energy, vibes, manifestation, universe stuff. And it's like humanity still can't live without a sense of the sacred. Even in a world where science explains everything, there's still this voice in people's heads asking, yeah, but why? Faith's evolving, adapting, morphing into different languages because deep down, we all know there's got to be something more than algorithms and dopamine hits. The danger, though, man, that we're replacing old wisdom with shallow trends. Ancient faiths gave people roots, purpose, accountability. Modern life gives people speed, comfort, distraction. So we're stuck between progress and purpose, building smarter machines but forgetting what makes us human. And maybe that's why religion, even in its traditional form, still lingers. It reminds us there's something beyond the screen, beyond the data, something sacred that tech can't simulate and science can't fully explain. You know what's crazy, man? You really look at the world right now. Everything feels like it's spinning out of control, right? People are anxious, disconnected, chasing dopamine, hits like their lives depend on it. And in the middle of all that noise, there's this thing that just stands solid, Islam. And it's wild because it's not some trend, not some new age idea. This ancient framework that somehow still works in the modern world. It gives people discipline, rhythm, structure, pray 5 times a day, fast, give charity, live with intention. It's like a full system for the soul. And people might not get it in the West. They see it through headlines or stereotypes. But if you actually look closer, realize it's a stabilizing force in a world addicted to chaos. Like, imagine you're living in a time where everyone's told there are no rules, no right or wrong. Do what feels good. Most folks are burning out under that freedom. But Islam says, hey, there are boundaries for a reason. It reminds you that life's not random. It's a test, and that accountability keeps people grounded. When you've got something that tells you, remember your creator, remember morality, it's like an anchor in a storm. And that's powerful. Modern life has stripped people of anchors. We've got convenience, but no meaning, comfort, but no peace. And somehow Islam's been holding that line for over 1,000 years, producing communities that still pray together, eat together, help each other. You don't see that kind of spiritual durability much anymore. It's like the last real antidote to nihilism. It's emptiness that's eating people alive. And whether you believe in it or not, you got to respect how it keeps millions sane in a world that's lost its center. Man, have you ever just stopped and thought about how fast we're moving with technology? Like, really thought about it. We're creating machines that can think, AI that can write, biotech that can literally edit life, and nobody's really asking the moral questions anymore. It's like the whole world's stuck in this mindset of, if we can do it, but no one's slowing down to say, wait, should we? That's where morality used to come in. That's what faith used to do, was the brakes on human ambition, reminding us that not every possibility is meant to be explored. But now it's like those brakes are gone, man. We're in this full speed race toward godhood, trying to create consciousness in computers, trying to rewrite DNA, trying to merge humans with machines, and it's all being driven by ego, money, and curiosity without a compass. Technology is incredible, don't get me wrong, but it's also terrifying because we're handing immense power to people who don't necessarily have the wisdom to handle it. Like giving a toddler a grenade. There's no moral anchor anymore, no collective. Why? Behind what we're building, just this constant push for innovation. And that's where you start realizing faith, religion, morality. They weren't just old ideas to control people. They were guardrails. Man, things that kept us from going too far off the edge. Without that, progress turns into chaos real quick. We can make clones, build AIs, play with creation itself. But if we don't have some sense of higher accountability, some understanding of right and wrong, then eventually we're going to cross a line we can't uncross. It's not about stopping technology. Remembering that just because we're capable doesn't mean we're ready. Man, you look around the Western world today, and it's like we're living in this giant spiritual vacuum, right? People have everything: comfort, technology, entertainment, instant gratification. But deep down, there's this emptiness, this weird hollowness that money and success can't fill. Like the soul's starving while the body's living in luxury. And that's the thing, man. The West traded faith for convenience. It used to have churches full on Sundays who believed in something bigger than themselves, who had moral compasses rooted in something timeless. Now it's all been replaced with self-worship, manifestation, hustle culture, influencer spirituality, this idea that you're your own God, and it's burning people out. Depression's everywhere, anxiety's normal, can't even sit with silence anymore without reaching for a screen. And it's not that science or progress are bad, it's that we lost balance. We built a world so focused on the material that we forgot about the metaphysical. And when you remove that sense of sacredness, that idea of accountability to something higher, everything starts to crumble: family, community, purpose. It all just dissolves into this chaos of individualism. You can see it, man, in the loneliness epidemic, in how people are desperate for meaning, joining online cults, chasing digital validation, anything to feel connected to something. But without a moral spine, all of it collapses. The West's problem isn't a lack of intelligence, it's a lack of spiritual oxygen. People can't breathe anymore because their souls are suffocating under noise and distraction. And the crazy part is they don't even realize it. They think freedom means doing whatever you want, but real freedom's always been about knowing what's right. Until the West figures that out, it's just going to keep drifting, rich, powerful, and totally lost. Man, really feels like the planet's going through some kind of massive shift in consciousness right now, doesn't it? Like, you can sense it. People are starting to question everything. Systems, the narratives, the way we've been living for decades. It's like we've hit this collective breaking point where the old mindset of materialism and ego just doesn't fit anymore. Everyone's waking up to the idea that we've been living in this illusion of progress while quietly killing our own spirit. You've got scientists talking about quantum consciousness, billionaires diving into meditation retreats, and kids in their teens quoting philosophers like they're memes. It's wild. This weird merging happening between science and spirituality, where people are realizing maybe it's not about picking one side, maybe both were pieces of the same puzzle all along. The internet, for all its chaos, has become this massive global brain where ideas, even ancient wisdom, are spreading faster than ever. You'll see a monk in Nepal and a podcaster in Texas talking about the same concept of awareness, and it hits you. Something bigger is moving through humanity right now. The crazy part is, it's messy. Growth always is. You've got wars, confusion, polarization. It's like consciousness detoxing itself from centuries of ignorance. But underneath that noise, this undeniable pull towards something higher, a new awareness. that maybe we're not separate, maybe we're connected in ways we barely understand. It's not some hippie dream anymore, becoming real through tech, neuroscience, and collective experience. You can feel it when people talk less about what I want and more about what's true. That's evolution, man, not physical, but mental, spiritual, collective. Humanity's waking up one uncomfortable truth at a time, and there's no going back now. You know what, man, at the end of the day, all comes down to this. We're living through one of the craziest, most transformative times in human history. Faith, science, technology, morality, culture, they're all colliding, merging, breaking apart, and reforming into something new. It's like watching evolution happen in real time, but not in biology, in consciousness. People rediscovering ancient truths while AI's writing poetry and decoding the universe at the same time. Feel that tension between chaos and awakening everywhere. In conversations, online debates, even in how people question their own beliefs now. Maybe that's the point. Maybe this chaos is the awakening. Maybe humanity needs to break apart a little before it finds its balance again. Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, all these faiths, man, they've been trying to say the same thing forever, that there's something beyond our ego, something bigger than this small me we keep feeding. There's one thing I've learned talking to all kinds of minds, scientists, monks, fighters, philosophers, it's that truth doesn't belong to anyone. Something we're all chasing, fumbling toward in the dark, hoping to touch a piece of it before we go. So wherever you are, man, stay curious, stay humble, keep questioning, keep learning, expanding that awareness, because that's what evolution really is, not the body, but the mind and spirit pushing forward. All right, guys, that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for keeping your minds open. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and good luck out there. The universe is a wild ride, but damn what a ride it is.